Hello, welcome to stage 26. This is the about the language one. It is on the subjunctive clause called a purpose clause. All right. So we're going to take a look at this, and I think you are going to get this pretty quickly. All right. If we look at a couple of examples here, we've got one from a story that we read, Milites ad principia convenerunt. So the soldiers arrived at or gathered at the headquarters, the principia. Okay. This ut clause, so you see here ut, and even down here below, and if we go down here, we see ut and ut and ut. Okay, so hopefully by now I've made my point that a purpose clause begins with ut. Okay, the next thing is that the verb, now this is a subjunctive clause. So just like cum clauses that we learned in 24, indirect questions that we learned in 25, here in stage 26, this purpose clause uses the subjunctive, and we have the imperfect subjunctive here. So the soldiers gathered at the principia, and then this clause tells you why they gathered, for what purpose. Okay, so ut agricolam audirent, in order that they hear Agricola, or in order that they might hear Agricola is the very literally correct translation. That might is in English a subjunctive past tense use. Okay, now that's a lot of words. In order that they might hear Agricola. Let's simplify that. What if we just said they gathered at the headquarters to hear Agricola? And that works just as well. So, there are a couple different translate, like you could also say they gathered at the headquarters so that they might hear Agricola. I think it's whatever sounds best to you, but the short, simple way is to turn it into like to blank, okay? So to listen to or to hear Agricola. Look at this next one. Through the entire night, through the whole night, the doctor was working so that he might heal the wounds of the soldiers. Now, the easier way of saying that is he was working all through the night to heal the wounds of the soldiers. So you almost turn it into like an infinitive phrase, but you could say so that he might do it, or in order that he might do it, but it just sounds better, something like you and I would say, to heal. Okay? If we look at all of our examples, we get all of that exact same kind of thing. All the citizens hurried to the forest, ut leonem mortuum spectarent. So what do you think that means? Yeah, to look at, to watch, to see the dead lion. That's a terrible sentence. Look at B. Dominus stilem et keros paposcit. So the master demanded or asked for a stylus, like a writing tool, a pencil basically, and a wax tablet, ut epistolam scriberet, or scriberet. So what does that mean? Right, to write a letter, or so that he might write a letter, or in order that he might write a letter. But boy, doesn't it sound better just to say to write a letter. So that's the idea behind a purpose clause. So now we know three subjunctive clauses: cum clauses, indirect questions, and now the purpose clauses. All right. This part 3 is saying what I've already said, which is that we could do something like in order to, or we could just say to hear. Okay. Good luck, everybody.